Welcome to Bad Take Philly.
Oh, he hits the upright again.
Bears season's going to end on a double doink.
Oh, my God.
Deep to right field. Way up there and way out of here.
Art.
Yang, the offensive rebound. And lead.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are world champions of baseball.
Welcome back to Bad Take Philly, episode number 12. If you look down there, we have 49 subscribers. We need one more for 50. Fucking hit the button. Thank you. All right, so we're just going to get right into it. Deshaun Watson has just recently got his suspension and is only in measly 6 games, which is just a very low number.
Yeah. I mean, the judge that was appointed by the NFL, like, there's nothing, like, she couldn't give him a year because technically there's no criminal charges filed. Like, there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute him, so he's innocent.
It's hard to prove, like, that he did it, but, like, we were talking about this the other day, like, when you got, how many?
It was
26.
26 lawsuits, but the NFL, or not NFL, the New York Times said there's up to like 66 cases.
When he's got 26 like lawsuits and he's already like settling them behind closed doors, and like he obviously did it, but they can't really.
Yeah, there's no criminal charges filed, and so what's the NFL going to do? Suspend him for a year for what? Just because you made us look bad? Like, and then he's going to appeal that and say I didn't do anything wrong, and it's going to get.
So pick him in your fantasy leagues.
It's crazy that, like, when the second round of, like, allegations came out, everyone was saying, like, year minimum to, like, 2-year suspension. Now it's, like, 6 games. It's just...
It's crazy. And, like, NFL is so broken in terms of their suspensions. Like,
They have to suspend Ridley for a year, though.
yes. I mean, I guess so. It's probably in the paper somewhere.
They have to, like, because it's different with, like, Josh Gordon with drugs and him, Ridley with
Josh
gambling.
Gordon is, like, the worst one in terms of how much time he got.
But
like, yes, he broke the rules, but he smoked the weed. He got, like, I think over 20 games.
But, like,
total.
Obviously they didn't do anything near as bad as Watson,
Mm-hmm.
but when they're breaking written rules, like, it's different than someone just committing a crime that isn't proven.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably in the rule book somewhere. You can't sexually assault people. Probably.
That's just morals.
No, it's like, I'm sure there's clauses in just the NFL and when you sign your contract, you can't commit crimes outside of it. We can suspend you for X and X and X and X. Like,
Yeah, but
someone got suspended for driving without a license for I think 4 or 6 games.
Yeah,
because it's like you're violating the league conduct. Like, basically, even if there's no evidence, like the same thing kind of happened with Zeke a few years ago. Like, there wasn't evidence that he abused his girlfriend, but still, just because it was such a big deal and that the fact that it did happen, the NFL said, well, you made us look bad, so we're suspending you 6 games.
it's been downhill since then.
But like that's just like what it is. Like, but even in the judge's ruling, like she said, he can't go to any massage parlors that aren't like league approved. So like, it's just like bad.
It is really bad.
Kind of gross.
Gross. Yeah, it's just it's it's a shame because he was such a good player
I
on
was looking
the
at
Texans.
his stats
It was fucking nuts.
Yesterday, he's top 3.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and like a young top 3. Like, I remember like him and Mahomes, you were like,
Yeah, and carried that team.
Yeah, and then Cleveland just hands him $230 million.
He still
that's the
could be
worst
fully
part. Like,
guaranteed.
he got one of the best contracts ever.
I think the best.
Probably the best contract ever for not playing for a year and sexually assaulting.
He could still be very, very.
I'm sure
No,
he
he's
will
gonna
be.
be good.
He'll come
He's
back and
gonna
it'll be
be.
great, but
I mean, and the risk of him like relapsing, I guess you can call it, but like getting in trouble for more things is just so high because like people like that always.
Well, like, if it's all the things, like, by the league and stuff, like, he probably won't do it again. Like,
I don't
that would be...
I don't think
you can find a way.
You can't discount people that have like it's an addiction.
It's a problem. Yeah.
It's a problem, and I don't know if just because he's went through all this, like people that are addicted, like you don't think like the normal person, like, oh wow, I got into a ton of trouble, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah,
like
because players have like been addicted to drugs, and I know it's different because it's not supervised by the team, but like he can find ways. Because it's just a rule that he would break. Because he's already breaking rules.
I think he wouldn't. I don't think he will, but there's a good chance he does. I think it'd be a very, very better chance that he doesn't commit again if he was punished heavier. He got almost no punishment. He got paid a shit ton of money. He's missing only 6 games. He got a new team, which is a much better team. Like, he just got everything he wanted, pretty much.
If he does get punished again, too, like, it's in his contract that, like, he loses no money, pretty much.
Yeah, which is crazy. But, I mean, he probably wouldn't.
Like, it's all, like, fully guaranteed. Like, and they made it so, like, missing games, like, doesn't count against that much.
He would have to go to jail, like Michael Vick did, to, like, lose his contract.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. And I hope... Can he ever be liked again? Like... You don't think so?
I think like Browns
majority of people. Yeah.
Like, cause listen, if he was in Philly right now, it'd be such a weird conversation. Cause like, I would want to like the guy because he's an Eagle, but like everything else is just he's a shitty person.
Like, if he
and the same thing happened with Vic. Like,
if he goes out like Vic, right, and he balls out and then proves that he is a changed person like Vic did, can you then like him? Like I think
you like.
I liked him a lot.
From a football aspect, you can.
You could definitely appreciate him as a football player, but like, I don't know. I think it's gonna take a couple years of him not doing anything, doing charity work, all that good shit, and maybe he can be viewed as like a decent person again. Not a saint, but
I think Michael Vick was a great example of someone that like did terrible stuff, went to jail, turned his life around, came back. He was clearly like reformed, and he was like one of my favorite Eagles ever to watch.
Good job, Michael Vick.
If Watson, maybe.
It's also worse. What he's done. Like
they're both heinous. Like they're both.
I know they are, but like
they're different things. One's people, one's dogs, but
I guess
both are very terrible.
I don't know. I can't like looking at it from a dynasty perspective. Like I can't sit there, and take him and feel comfortable that he's not going to do this again. If you have like a sex addiction and you can't help yourself, like what's stopping him from?
I don't know.
That's the thing that I don't get because
he
can do anything he wants with any female. He's a multi-millionaire. He's a football player. Like before this whole thing, he could have gotten any girl he wanted. He could have done anything he wanted, like not without consent, obviously, but he chose to do it without consent.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like that's like his kink. That's his thing. So the question is like as the Dak was saying, like he has an addiction to that thing, and can he get rid of that? Can he like suppress it? I don't know. Maybe.
That's like Philly.
That's like sex talks. What's happening? Sex.
Messaging. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's an addiction of some sort there. There's also like arrogance, like, oh, I'm an NFL quarterback, I'm untouchable. You know, I won national championships. I'm a top 5 quarterback.
I have $250 million.
Like, what are you gonna do to me? Like, I can do whatever I want. And it's just that arrogance that can get you in trouble.
Well, speaking of addictions, you know what I'm addicted to?
What?
Fireworks.
Fireworks?
So far, the trade deadline has been pretty exciting.
Skips 2 things.
What's next?
We're not talking about the
deadline. Then the trend.
Oh, deadline's last?
Yeah.
It's not last, but
football, then baseball.
I was ready for baseball. Alright, what are we talking about next?
We're talking about the Dolphins. They lost their first round pick.
Fireworks.
That is fireworks. Yeah, there's always that talk about Brady trying to get to the Dolphins and these like backroom deals and whatever that never ended up happening. The same with Sean Payton too, and we found out that actually did happen.
Yep.
I read the Ian and Rappaport tweet. I think it said like the Dolphins were talking. Not the owner, but like a lawyer or someone that represented the owner for the Dolphins. We're talking to Brady from like August of 2019 all throughout the season, and then did the same thing last season. They were talking to Sean Payton's agent too. Like they're just like, that's just tampering. You can't do that. It's very illegal.
It makes you wonder, like, does that happen way more often than we think?
Yes,
there's one team that got caught, and like that's a big penalty. That's a huge penalty.
Yeah. It could have been bigger.
I don't think so. Like a first and a third.
First round.
Yeah.
First round pick's huge. When I saw the thing, it was like the Dolphins got a pick removed. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, they're losing a 5th.
Yeah, and they lost 3rd, right? First and
a third.
So my question is,
and $1.5 million fine.
Like, what did the Sixers just lose or?
Well, they're being
it's
investigated
under
for
investigation.
tampering with Harden. The Knicks are being investigated for tampering with Brunson. Like, it does happen every year, but I think this is a more extreme case of it.
So I'm wondering, like, next year in the draft, is there only 31 first-round picks?
Yeah, the same thing happened.
Or will the first pick in the second round just be added to the first round?
Yeah, it was the Patriots with their Deflategate. They lost a first rounder, and I think there's only 31 picks that year.
That's really cool.
I forget what year that draft was, but I'm pretty sure it's only
That's
31 picks.
interesting. Yeah.
It's also funny that they were tampering for like years and didn't get either of them.
Ended up with Tua.
Yeah.
No, that's a joke.
So I don't know how you feel as a Bucks fan that Brady maybe doesn't.
I'm
really
feeling
want
pretty
to
happy
be
that
there.
he
I don't
won a
know.
Super Bowl
I
for
guess
us.
so.
He wants to be there now.
Yeah,
He's chilling. He
yeah.
chose the Bucks for a reason.
Why would he not want to be at the?
Yeah.
He just like Florida.
Because he wanted to go to Miami.
He wanted to go
It's
Miami.
never worked out.
I mean, they offered him $500 million behind closed doors.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
care if I were a Bucks fan.
Yeah, no, Bucks are
I
chilling.
guess the Bucks are chilling.
I feel like a lot of NFL front offices are like with the ex-Redskins when they were still the Redskins, and they were like that whole scandal with the cheerleaders and the drugs and all that, and the Raiders front office is fucked up, and this front office is like
There's a lot of corruption.
it's such a multi-billionaire business that you have to like keep under control. You'd think you'd be able to like run it better.
I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of powerful people.
Yeah.
And when you have powerful people, I mean, those is like it's almost all men. Like it's a lot of men that own these teams that are all almost billionaires or
It's all
billionaires.
men owners, right?
I think there's like one or two women owners, and then the Green Bay Packers are not obviously.
The Detroit one,
Did you
the
see
New Orleans.
Lewis
The
Hamilton bought part of the Broncos?
They-
Really?
Yeah,
That's
cool.
really cool.
that's awesome.
Anyway, but like you have, they're going to do bad things behind closed doors, but it's just now they're under a magnifying glass because they're owners of NFL teams. So it's just hard for the NFL to control. I wish they could. You know, it's terrible that they remember the cheerleaders and whatnot. But
We also found out that the whole tanking thing that was alleged didn't really happen. Like Brian Flores was saying that Stephen Ross, the owner, was saying I'll pay you this X amount of money. I think it was $100,000 to lose a game, and that conversation never happened. He alluded to the fact it would be good if we had a higher pick, and these games don't really matter. But he wasn't ever encouraging them to lose games, and he was still Brian Flores was still being commended for winning that 2019 game when they beat New England and took away the first round back. They were winning games at the end of the year, and no one ever said oh, stop losing, stop winning those games. So that kind of tanking thing never happened.
I don't
Is that
see.
what that said? 'Cause I thought Flores was saying that he wished that they took a deeper look into that.
I think the
could
NFL
happen,
investigated it for a while. It said the investigation lasted from 2019 till now, and if they didn't find
That's
any
crazy.
tanking
Well, what's the benefit from Flores for lying about that? He had a head coaching
money,
job.
I mean
I don't know. He was a good coach.
he filed a
too.
lawsuit
He's a really
and he
good coach.
wants money from that. He can get a lot of money.
But he could have got a lot of money just being a head coach.
losing
He
games,
got-
they
he
got a lot of
got
money.
fired.
Yeah.
So now he's an assistant coach.
I feel like the Eagles borderline tanked the
Really?
game.
He's a linebackers coach for Pittsburgh or something like that.
Yeah, he's the defensive. He's the linebackers coach and the defensive assistant. Or something
Like
like
associate head coach or something like that.
Definitely not an upgrade.
The Dolphins are taking a huge hit from that too. They went from a team that not a contending team by any means, but a very strong team who might need a quarterback soon too. Tua might not be their answer, and now they just can't get a quarterback.
Well, if two is fine, it's not as
Yeah,
big
but
of a
no,
deal.
but I don't know, there's a chance that this year they realize Tua is not the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could definitely happen. They don't have the ammo for it anymore.
Any
That's
of you know
huge,
the picks that they had all last year? Because I know they had a lot of picks
This year,
next
The next draft.
next draft.
they
where lost
shouldn't
the
have a
first.
whole lot because they traded for Tyreek too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They got picks from that. I think it was San Fran that traded up with them for Trey Lance.
Yes, and then we traded with them too.
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of picks because of the Tyreek Hill trade.
I was surprised they had a first. To be honest, with you. I know they had one.
Yeah, so I think that they traded a couple seconds away, so they don't have a lot of picks to do anything. So they need to.
They need Tua to be good, and they need their team just to be good. They're not going to get a whole lot of.
Well, luckily, I'm going to take him in the dynasty draft, and he will be good.
Yeah, that was.
I know at least
I
two
don't
people
think
that went too
yeah.
in the dynasty.
I'm
draft
one of
games,
them.
so- and Chris is one of them too.
I'm
Yeah.
one of them.
it's
That's four. Sorry.
gonna be tough to get him.
Fucking Tua's gonna go in the second at this rate.
Yeah, right.
Tua in the second.
Doesn't seem like you and Chris are not in like a position where he's gonna be. Like,
I'm
You
right
could
next
definitely
to
get
But
him.
you're not gonna get him in the.
You could definitely get him.
He could
You
be
want him to come
anywhere.
back in the sixth, right?
5'6".
Because it's
yeah,
He can
fine.
be anywhere.
2,
Well, like where it would make sense to take him, like
4.
he's just not on your side
You
of
can get him
the
early
thing.
fifth if you wanted him.
Because
You take him when, like 5th, 6th turn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's there in like the 5th for Brendan, or like mid 5th for Chris. Like that's.
I guess mid fifth is either, but
Yeah.
like
I wouldn't mind reaching
high
for
fifth
Tua.
is.
I'm actually kind of high on Tua. Like,
Tua's going in the 4th. So I'm hearing here.
no, not like insane. Like,
Justin's taking him in the 4th round. You
Oh.
heard it here. Book it.
If
It's happening.
if our league mates are watching the podcast, they see
Your
we're
8 league
just
mates.
talking up to his ADP. Each word that comes out of our mouth is another pick that he gets higher now. Like,
I don't know. You guys gonna have to.
this
I
is
don't
all a
know.
strategy for them to get him in the second. Just let everyone fall.
Yeah.
Bro, don't say our plan.
So I heard
I
that
really,
certain
really
Dakota
like
has
Mac Jones.
a strong take. We've been liking our takes on Bad Take Philly.
We have.
What is it?
Hard to
Mac?
name.
What's
Well,
your take?
so I was just looking because we're gonna do a predictions video. I don't know when, but I'm sure we'll do that because predictions are fun.
Like in
So-
August.
Yeah. So I was just looking through teams, and I kind of was like, oh, like looking at this stat, like turnover margin from last year and like record in 1-score games. Like, just wanted to see if there was like a team that didn't look as good this year, and like they had like they did really well in that last year. Not the Vikings, but it's close. I was looking through, and I said, huh, this team
I love the Lions.
did really good in turnover margin this year. Last year, this team was really good in 3-point. Like they won a bunch of games in 3-point outcomes. Like they won on a field goal or less. And then I looked at their roster, and I would say they went down.
Who is it?
The Green Bay Packers. I don't know how far I'm willing to go on this, but I'm just gonna say they're not winning the division this year, and there's a chance they might not make the playoffs. Packers are gonna be bad. So I actually have written down last year the Packers were a fraudulent 1 seed.
Ooh.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. I absolutely
Yes,
agree.
they were. So they were the 3rd best in turnover margin. They were plus 13. So a lot of that is because they have Aaron Rodgers that is taking care of the football. He only had 4 picks
And we're
last
still
year.
Douglas.
We're still Douglas
Yeah.
had 5 picks. Yeah.
Oh.
So they have like the best quarterback in the league. He's he's taking care of the football. So that's going to inflate it. But they are also 6th best in 1-score games. So basically, like 8 points or less was the outcome. They were plus 3, and they had 1 win where I think they won by like 8. I can't remember who it was against, and they had 1 loss where they lost by 1 score. But they had 5 games where they won on a field goal or less. So that means there's a lot of plays that are going their way, where if that other play doesn't go their way, they lose that game. Like the Browns, it was a 2-point win. The Ravens with Tyler Huntley as the quarterback, they went for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game. If they make that,
was bad.
they win that game. Like just games like that. Of the Bengals game, they won in overtime. Kickers are missing field goals left and right. If the Bengals kicker makes a field, they lose that game. So there's just examples of that where they got really lucky last year. And then Pro Football Reference, it's a really good website. Check it out when you're using stats. It's very supportive for your information. I love Pro Football Reference.
This isn't sponsored.
Oh, it is sponsored. So it takes their point differential and says what the record should have been last year based off of that. So they had the Packers record as it should have been 10.4 to 6.6.
What's the record? Was it 13?
13-4.
Okay.
So they probably should have lost 3 more games than they did. And they only had the 5th best point differential in the conference. So they were benefited from playing in a weak division and ended up getting 13 wins, and then they obviously got bounced out by Jimmy G. It was a terrible game for them.
Who do you think is going to win the division?
I don't know. That's the only
Fucking
thing.
Lions are going to
The Lions and
Lions
Vikings
are a
are
great
improved.
team.
I'll get to that.
I don't think the Lions.
I'll get to it.
I think the Lions are
I'll get to
going
it.
pretty far.
So this year, obviously, we all know they lost Devontae Adams, and he is the best receiver in the league, and that is huge. They also lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He's not the best receiver in the
No,
league.
he's not even close.
But he's someone that Aaron
Basically
Rodgers,
Tyreek Hill,
basically, he's someone that Aaron Rodgers had a lot of a connection with. Like he's comfortable with Marquez. and now he's gone. So that's their number 1 and number 4 people in targets from last year. So they lose those guys. So now you look at the receiving core they have. They drafted Christian Watson, but he's been missing training camp with an injury. So as a rookie, you need that time to build your connection with the quarterback and get used to the NFL. He doesn't have that at all. So I don't know what kind of impact he's going to make right off the bat. You've got Randall
Alan Lazard,
Cobb.
the Hall of Fame
You've
wide
got
receiver.
Alan Lazard. You've got Amari Rogers. They drafted last year. He's done nothing. There's talk about Romeo Doubs doing good stuff in
He's
training
got a
camp.
good name.
He's a 5th round pick, 4th round pick. I don't know how much stock he can put in that. Their best, Tunyon's coming off an ACL.
The best receiver's fucking Aaron Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
They
They don't have a proven receiver at all. Sammy Watkins is there, so like their receivers are either just washed up like Sammy Watkins, who probably won't even make the team, or just really young and really inexperienced. So who is Aaron Rodgers going to throw the ball to? I have no idea. So you've already got that going for them. Now you look at the offensive line. And David Bakhtiari has been their left tackle. He's been an elite left tackle for a long time. He tore his ACL in 2020, and he's still not recovered from that. Like 2 years later, he played like a half of a game last year.
He's good at drinking beers. Ever see him drink a beer?
I think
He's really good at drinking beer. He's a great beer drinker.
But it's just kind of weird that it's like 2 years later and he's still not recovered. Like that's concerning. So I don't know if he's going to be ready, when he's going to be ready this year. And then also, their other really good offensive lineman, Elton Jenkins, he tore his ACL last year. He might not be ready at the start of the season. So once you get past those two, the rest of their O-line is also really young and really inexperienced. They had a couple guys start from last year. I think Josh Myers is the center. He was a 2nd round pick. He wasn't great last year. Just like everyone on that line is very young, very inexperienced. So you have a very inexperienced offense. The defense, there's no concern about that. The defense is really good.
It's a good defense, yeah.
But when you had all these things last year where you got lucky in a lot of games and now you're losing so much firepower on offense, it's concerning. Aaron Jones also, I think he's on the decline. He's still a good, really good pass catching back, and they have A.J. Dillon, who
they have
probably
a tandem.
Yeah, so I don't think that'll be a concern, but I think it's also just something to throw in there that I'm not as high on Aaron Jones because he is getting up there in age. So then we get to the division. That's kind of the.
I have relevant information.
Yes.
Irv Smith broke his thumb, and he got surgery today, and he might be back. But
Irv Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Fuck.
His favorite player.
He was my tight end pick last year.
He said he might be ready for the opener. So
okay.
That's relevant information.
Yeah, I guess that's relevant.
So the division, I do think it's improving.
It's 3 improved teams.
I wouldn't say the Bears are improved. I kind of like
just
that.
a head change of head coach. I think makes it better.
It's not a big improvement.
They do not help.
They the worst head coach. They did the worst head coach in the league. So going from the worst head coach to any other head coach.
They downgraded their receiving core. They didn't improve in like any other spots.
They're terrible.
They're not good, but I think they have a better chance to win games.
I think Justin Fields has a chance to look good look better because Nagy's not there, but I don't think they have a chance to win that
Not win the division, but I don't know. I think it'd be a better team.
The Lions and Vikings, I think, are improved. You go to the Lions, they drafted Aiden Hutchinson. They drafted Jamison Williams. He won't be healthy for the start of the season, but he's still there. They signed DJ Chark. Dalton's a huge DJ Chark fan.
I fucking hate DJ Chark. He's a fucking dumb motherfucker.
They also
his face is like this big. He's like I hate him so much. You know, fuck DJ Chark. You're the worst football player in the entire NFL. You don't deserve to be on a fucking team, especially the Lions. You're gonna be the wide receiver fucking 5 on the Lions. You get that touchdown. I hate DJ Chark.
Why?
I just don't like him.
I know.
No, he's just like. I don't even know. I remember like 1 year in fantasy, I hadn't played against him. He scored like 35 fucking points in the games. He had like 4
I'm sick of your
touchdowns,
fucking YouTube fantasy disliking players because of only fantasy.
No, and he's just like just not that good. Like for a second, I'm like, okay, this guy actually might be good, and he's just bad. He's a bad football player.
Okay.
But I love Amon Ross.
Anyway,
I love him.
DJ Chark, despite what someone may say, is not a bad football player. He's actually a pretty decent football player. So he could be
so mid.
their.
Amon Ross so much better.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that DJ Chark is the best receiver on that team. I'm just saying they added him, and he's good. He added a 1,000-yard season.
And they have a good receiving.
Yeah, that was 1 year when I thought he was.
And then he was hurt last year. Like, get him out of Jacksonville. Get him to.
Your point is they have a good receiver.
Yes.
No, he's the reason why Jacksonville
Detroit
is
is
bad.
not a dumpster fire of a culture. They're not a dumpster fire.
Detroit is so on the come up. Not the actual
it's a
city. The
dumpster
city's still a
fire
dumpster
of a
fire.
franchise.
Yeah.
It's not a dumpster fire of a
Dan
culture.
Campbell is in there.
The
Everyone
city
makes
is a
fun of
dumpster
him.
fire.
The culture is
Oh my
great.
The culture is gonna bite your knees, and they're gonna be good.
Yeah, they're a scrappy team. They're gonna fight you every single week. They're never gonna be. I mean, obviously, we blew them out last year.
Talk
but
about a team that doesn't win close games. They lost so many one possession games last year.
I don't have that
Two
right
probably,
away, but
but
they actually beat them last year. But it was
Except
like,
for
it was
week
a
one, they're
meaningless
gonna get
game.
fucking pounded week one.
Yeah. They get Frank Clark, not Frank Clark. He's on the Chiefs. They get Frank Ragnow back from injury, who's one of the best centers in the league. They also get Jeff Okudah, their corner,
Fuck you,
back
Jeff.
from an injury. So they could have, between him and Amani Oruwariye, they could have a great secondary. With Penn State.
They got Aiden Hutchinson.
They have a really good
Jared
They got some
line.
studs.
Goff.
Jared Goff is underrated.
He's underrated. And he's surrounded by a
Weren't
lot
you
of weapons.
like not saying that the last time we talked
Jared
about
Goff is underrated. If I had
You were
an opinion, I'd
shitting
change
on
it.
Jared Goff like 4 podcasts ago when we talked about this on the podcast.
I like Jared Goff now.
Me
Okay.
and Dakota were like, yeah, he's not that bad.
No, he's underrated. He's underrated.
No, I think I was clowning because you mentioned him as if he was like a top quarterback.
I didn't mention
You mentioned him like he was top 10, and I thought that
I
was
said
funny.
they have good pieces, and I went in order.
Oh yeah,
of
you
how
went in order of
Because the quarterback's the most
because you
important
start
position.
with
No,
the
but it's
quarterback.
hilarious when you say the best person on the team is
I
Jared Goff.
didn't
That is actually
say
pretty
the
funny.
best-
You go,
he
they
did
have
say that.
studs. They got Jared Goff. That's pretty funny.
So we
That's
got,
how it was brought up.
people
That's-
that
They
have
got
no
Swift.
better.
I love DeAndre Swift.
They have DeAndre Swift. They have Hawkinson, Almon Ross, St. Brown, DJ Chark, Jameson Williams. They have players on that team.
That team's
And they're going to be, they're going to be very improved this year. And then you got Minnesota. I'm not as high on Minnesota, but Minnesota's a good team too, or a decent team. They got Kevin O'Connell from the Rams, so they got rid of Mike Zimmer. He's the best player on that team. So you have an offensive-minded head coach who's coming from Sean McVay's system that maybe he can get something out of Kirk Cousins' stat. We haven't got out before. I don't know. You still got Justin Jefferson. You still got Dalvin Cook. You still got Adam Thielen. Maybe Irv Smith if he finally makes that
recovery.
leap this year. We'll see.
He was gonna be elite last
They
year.
got on the field first.
Yeah.
But even their defense is.
Oh my God, they do have CJ Ham.
Ham fam.
Ham
That's
fam.
ridiculous.
That's
Their
a-
second
that's a
and third
funny
running back are the best.
He's a
I think he's a
fullback.
fullback, yeah.
It doesn't
But you know,
matter.
if he's a running back if they need him to be.
Yeah.
They
He's a first.
signed Darius Smith from the Packers, who's a really good pass rusher. They picked up our guy Jordan Hicks. They drafted a couple guys in the secondary, so they can be an improved team too. And lastly, there's a lot of parity in the NFL. That's kind of why, I think a lot of people that's their favorite league, because there's just new teams that are good every year.
Absolutely.
So it's like if you look at the standings,
CFL is my favorite league.
yeah, me too. It's about 6 to
That one
7
sucks.
new and teams that make the playoffs every year.
Go Stars.
Yeah. And then you also have 3 or 4, can be 5 new division winners every year. So there's just a lot of turnover, and I think the Packers are primed to have a regression. And
Could you say the Packers are finished?
No.
Could they be done?
It's over. It's an incredible franchise.
I don't know if they're done. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers cannot. I mean,
Okay, hold on.
he's not Tom Brady, right?
They're
So he's
he's
not
gonna
going
win
to
a
play
Super
until he's
Bowl in the next
45.
10 years.
But he's like Tom Brady-esque. He's in that conversation for the next how much 2-3 years.
I don't know, he could retire any year too.
It is short.
I can see that happening.
I just have
It's
some
really
feeling that he got his money, and he's 39, and he's just really comfortable.
And he's weird. He's a fucking weirdo too.
And
He's so good.
He's so good. He's a fucking weirdo.
I don't know. I don't want to question his drive to win, but I don't know.
He's just there for his bag and his witch girlfriend. He's just chilling.
All right. So I
He's
do
dating a witch.
Oh, that's cool.
He's dating
Good for him.
Did you know that?
No idea.
Oh my god, we talk about that?
Sure.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers is dating a girl. We find it. Aaron Rodgers.
So I
He also
do
looks like
I do
Fernando
agree with
Alonso.
you that
her legal name is Blue of Earth
What?
with no E in blue, and she is witch. I'm pretty sure she considers herself. She identifies as a witch.
okay. So I do agree with you that
He's weird for that. He is weird for
that
that.
the Packers are they're not gonna progress because there's not really room for that. and they obviously did go down. And Devontae Adams took like 4 or 5 years to become the Devontae Adams that we know. Like, it took him 4 years to have a 1,000-yard receiving season. And so I don't think Watson or Lazard is going to come. Like, obviously Lazard isn't that good, but they're not going to come in and be a great wide receiver one. So obviously they're going to like struggle there, but it's still Aaron Rodgers, and he's proven for the past 15 years that he's one of the best. Like, if it weren't for Brady, he would be the best of the generation. So he's in that conversation with Brady. He's in that conversation with. Are you saying Eli Manning? Okay. And I just don't think you can count the Packers out necessarily. And LaFleur has been blessed with a dominant offense, and last year very good defense, and he was put into a system with a lot of weapons, and
he's a fraud
and didn't have to do much, but he hasn't lost yet. Like, overall, like, he's made pretty bad decisions on some stretches. We won't name certain field goals, but he hasn't. Like, he's a very, very good coach, and I also don't think you can say that they're a fraud. One seed.
Well, I know a lot of stuff that says you can.
I don't think you can look at close games and call that a fraud, because
that is the perfect way you can call someone a fraud.
They were a dominant, like, Aaron Rodgers was the MVP.
The Titans
they weren't dominant.
Absolutely fraud.
They just
their defense was very good.
Oh, for that. That's common knowledge. Though.
Their offense was very good, and Aaron Rodgers was the MVP.
Good. It wasn't great.
They had a good backfield. They had a good.
Okay.
So they're an overall good. Like, the Titans were not a great team.
No, they were a fraudulent 1 seed too.
They were absolutely. They were the definition.
They just weren't a great team last year. The Cowboys had almost like a 200-point differential. That led the league. Like, their margin of victory, I think it was like 4 points, 5 points. The Packers were like the Rams were statistically better last year. The Cardinals were better last year.
If they win that San Fran game, we're not saying that.
So you're saying they could be like a 4 or 5 seed?
If they were in another division, like, they just they wouldn't be the 1 seed. Like,
so, Dak, do you agree they'll make the playoffs though, right? Like, they're making the playoffs because they're in the NFC. There's not 7 teams better than the Packers in the NFC. There's no way.
Let's go off the top. Like, the Bucks, us, Niners,
Rams.
And
you're gonna struggle. Like, the Cowboys.
The
Saints are not better than the
Saints have really good defense.
So do the Packers.
But they have better offensive. Not if you take out the quarterback, I like their offense more than this.
But you just can't take out the quarterback.
Jameis isn't the best quarterback. I think Jameis isn't. Yeah, I'm trying to come out on his. He can see now, and I don't think he's gonna.
No, I like the Saints, but they're not. Like, the Packers are still gonna make the playoffs. I agree. There's a decent chance, bigger than what Vegas would say, that they're not gonna win the division. But I'd be shocked if they didn't make the playoffs. That would be.
I still think they win the division. I don't know. Like, again, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. I feel like we're just passing over that he's in.
I can't argue that.
I think they're gonna have to try to run the. They're gonna try to run the ball a lot, but that's gonna
have 2 good running backs.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. But then if you run the ball a lot, you're not using Aaron Rodgers as much. So, like, there's a balance there that you're.
I don't know.
Because, like, if you couldn't do a shootout and he has to chuck the ball out, like, he's gonna struggle. But he doesn't have. Like, when you watch Aaron Rodgers drop back in the pocket in the 4th quarter last year, you know it's going to Devontae Adams. Like, more than half the time it's going to Devontae Adams. This year he drops back in the pocket, he's throwing it up. It's fucking Alan Lazard, the wide receiver one. Like, that's just not pretty.
But he's like the best arm talent that we've seen in the past 20 years.
It's the same kind of conversation with the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs had Travis Kelce, but they have these bad receivers. Saying, like,
they don't have bad receivers.
I don't think they have bad receivers.
Oh my God.
I think the Chiefs have speed.
Receivers.
And that fits what they want to do. And I think they got MVS. MVS isn't bad. Sky Moore could be really good. They have Mecole Hardman. Like, they have players.
Mecole Hardman is bad.
Juju is
but
going
they have
to
be
better
speed,
than
and they have
Steelers.
people that can get open and run crossing routes and do what they want to do. Like, their whole that fits their offense.
Mecole Hardman is bad.
He's not that bad.
He's bad.
But he's been there, and he
was like 22nd in all the routes last year. Like, he's only good for like maybe goes, and even that he's not that good.
He was wide receiver 3 or 4. Like, he wasn't part of that offense that much.
No, I'm saying, like, he's not fit. He's not like good. He's not going to be good.
Well, you'll have to
MVS has one route as well. He's just
wide receiver 4.
Go.
MVS isn't bad. Yeah, and that fits what they want to push the ball downfield, and Mahomes has the arm to get it to them. Like that whole speed thing works. The Packers, I think, just have trash cans running around at receiver. Like Lazard sucks, and Watson
is better than MVS.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
MVS
not.
is bad. MVS is very bad on getting open. He only is good for deep balls.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Lazard also can't get open, but he's better at like contested catches.
You can't catch.
You can MVS. MVS can't fucking catch. You cannot say he can catch. It's like,
Watson is. I don't know what kind of impact he's going to make, and then you got old Randall Cobb and old Sammy Watkins and.
No, listen, they definitely are going to digress, but I don't like that division is so. I don't want to say inexperienced, but
you're relying a lot.
Aaron Rodgers has had that that team has had the experience of going to the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers has that DNA in him. And the Lions have a lot of good players, have a lot of great weapons on paper, and they're probably going to translate it to the field. But when you talk about close games, you can say part of it is things going their way and maybe catching breaks. But when you look at a team like the Lions, who lose a shit ton of one possession games, they're a young team who doesn't have the experience in close games, and Aaron Rodgers knows how to manage games when it's close. He knows, that team knows how to play in close games. And again, I'm not saying that they didn't have things go their way, but a big reason for that is because of their background.
No, having Aaron Rodgers helps you out, but just all of that just screams regression to me. Like having that high of turnover margin.
I agree.
Like that's such a good way, because having a high turnover margin, that's so volatile. Like that if you lead the league in turnover margin, you're not going next year. I think I looked it up. The team from 2020 that led, I think it was the Titans, if I'm not mistaken, and they ended up having they went from plus 15 and they were 0 last year.
But they were also a really, really good defense without Jair Alexander for a good chunk of games.
I'm not defense is going to be really good, but
I agree with you that there's no question they're going to regress. There's no way they can go up. That's for sure. But I still think they win the division, but I don't think there's really a question of making the playoffs just because the NFC is so soft compared to the AFC. I think Aaron Rodgers and LaFleur and that backfield, and if they figure out how to have an average receiving core, I think they're going to find a way to sneak them.
Would you say their LaFleur is the playoffs?
I think their LaFleur is the playoffs.
if their O-line, if Jenkins and Bakhtiari come back, I don't know if Bakhtiari is going to get ready. He just keeps having procedures done on his knee, and it's just kind of weird with him. Jenkins should be fine. So if they both come back, the O-line's going to be solid. They'll have a running game, and they probably will make the playoffs. But a lot of the Vikings and Lions don't have that DNA, but
they have a bright future.
They have a bright future, but you can say that about the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017. They didn't have any experience. They just got there and won.
Yeah. The
only time that Rodgers has missed the playoffs, other than his rookie year, he missed in 2018. He played the whole season. They were 6-9, and they had a tie in there. And the Bears, who hadn't done anything in 10 years, won the division. They were 12-4. So I get on.
I miss that Bears.
Yeah, they were so good on paper. And just they haven't the Lions and they haven't proved anything yet, but there is so much just parity in the NFL that it's just, I know it's hard to think of it and go but look at the Packers, look at what they've done, there's just no way they miss the playoffs, and I feel we say that about teams every year, and then they do miss the playoffs. I think it can happen that they don't make the playoffs.
So what are 7 teams that
genuinely could us.
And we need a team that
Eagles 1 seed.
Yes. Us, Tampa, LA, and let's say Minnesota.
Okay.
So that's
fine.
San Francisco.
Yep.
I say New Orleans. Maybe Arizona. Maybe Detroit.
Cowboys.
Maybe the Cowboys.
It's hard to imagine the Lions in the playoffs.
I would love to see the Lions in the playoffs.
It would be fun.
One of my favorite teams, definitely, right now.
I don't know. They're fun.
Just right before we move on to the MLB trade deadline, have you guys ever seen Aaron Rodgers' brother. So he was on The Bachelor.
On The Bachelor, yeah.
And
They don't talk.
No, but like his entire so like, you know when like so on The Bachelor, right? They're introducing all these men, and in the bottom corner it says like, their profession, and all of them like doctor, lawyer, model. Aaron Rodgers' brother was his job title, which is
also,
just pretty funny because like he doesn't fucking like him for that reason.
One more thing about football, Hurts had a good day at training camp today.
Yeah.
So hopefully he starts doing a little better because he hasn't been outstanding. And I fucking hate when people call into 94 WIP and they say that Hurts isn't a practice guy, he's a gamer. I've heard that like 3 different times.
He's a fucking gamer.
I'm like, it's just he's got to play well in training camp. He's got to like show something. But AJ Brown had a big play. Rager's playing with the first team today. But
I really hope he doesn't make the team.
Can we talk about the Miles Sanders thing, not getting the first team reps in the full team?
He got him yesterday, and yesterday he had like a bunch of big runs. They said so.
Like, I don't think it's a big deal, but people were making it a big deal. Like Kenneth Gainwell was getting.
Gainwell should get first team reps because he plays. He's gonna play.
And apparently Nakobe Dean hasn't stood out. Sitting out like.
I mean, Jordan Davis is doing good. I mean,
really good. Yeah.
I don't know. We have so many additions. Like if Nakobe Dean doesn't pan out, like it's not gonna kill us. So we need to hit on both our picks, but like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like root against him.
No, I'm rooting. I'm absolutely rooting for him, but like.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Dak did say he wasn't going to be the best. Maybe he needs time. Maybe he needs time to adjust to the speed of the NFL. Like, I don't know.
He's a third-round pick. If it doesn't pan out,
yeah.
Again, it's something. We'd much rather have Jordan Davis pan out.
Third-round picks fucking miss all the time. So.
Still a steal in third. Like, there's a reason he dropped, but I still like the pick. We'll see.
I have one more comment on your take. Do you think a certain Anslo's employee would be mad this year if the Packers are doing worse?
All I'm going to say, if that certain Angelo's employee,
those receivers are not easily replaceable.
If he's mad every Sunday, that's gonna make my Sundays so much better. And I don't care how he That's karma. Oh my God. That's karma.
So do you guys like fireworks?
I love fireworks. Al Lazard is just a DN.
Al Lazard is a DN.
Oh, God. You can get Monte Adams in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to your new, I don't know.
We're going to White, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But Dak already got traded to Los Galos.
Yeah.
Los Galos is the Raiders. So that makes perfect sense. They are the Raiders.
Alright, let's talk about the trade deadline.
It says Juan Soto got traded just hours ago. And it's blockbuster big trade. It's him and Josh Bell going to the Padres, and the Nationals are getting C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, and Eric Hosmer was supposed to go, but then he
vetoed the trade.
He vetoed the trade, so we don't know how that's gonna go. It's still going on as we're here, and
imagine if it somehow doesn't happen.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts.
It said that it will happen without him, but like, it's
so
just
are
crazy.
The Nationals just gonna get like screwed out of that?
I don't know. Would not be dealt. Hosmer's decision is not expected to prevent Soto and Bell from being dealt to the Padres.
How good is this Hosmer guy?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Who's like the biggest piece in the trade besides Juan Soto though?
Probably the prospects.
Yeah, like I think Abrams is supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, he was the one who filled in for Tatis.
The first round pick, really high first round pick.
Yeah.
So just a lot of young guys that can potentially make the Nationals good in a few years. Like, if I'm a Nationals fan, like I'm burning my Juan Soto jersey. I'm booing him every single time he comes up to at bat when he comes back. Like,
Well, you also hate Soto.
Why?
To begin with.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean? Why? He doesn't want to be there. So if you don't want to be there,
Bro,
then
they
I
gave
don't
him a
like
terrible
you.
contract.
A $440 million contract?
Like
You were the only person that ever be like, I don't want $440 million.
no, that's a bad contract for him.
It was a bad setup contract.
It was
How?
like
His value is more than what it was.
he was
I
getting paid.
don't
10
want
million less.
400.
He was
I
getting
want
paid
500. I want
Listen to this.
600.
He was getting paid 10 million less
Money,
than
money,
Strasburg,
money,
who is
money,
the
money, money.
highest annual
Give
on the
me
team.
money.
And
Give me
Strasburg
money.
isn't playing.
You didn't want to be there. Didn't
But
want
they
to be
gave him
there.
a terrible contract.
I'm,
And then they
and
said
I'm a
that they gave
national
him
fan.
another
I'm
one.
going
That's
to boo
just a
him.
PR stunt.
I'm going
And
to boo
like,
him every time.
that was terrible. Like, no reason he should have accepted that.
This Padres projected starting lineup, though, this Tatis leading off, Soto, Machado, and Bell in the batting fourth. That is nuts. Like,
That is crazy.
it's just scary. And they added Hader.
Bell's hitting 301.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, their team is,
Well, 299 of that is the Phillies.
they're looking pretty nice. Getting into the,
Oh, this is the guy that was fucking us up?
yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, so now he's gonna fuck us up in the postseason.
The postseason. We added Sosa and
Bitches love Sosa.
did nothing else so
We're-
far.
we're-
We still could get Syndergaard.
We're in
Yeah,
on
we can.
Syndergaard. We're still in on Plesac, but I don't think anything else has come out on him.
I would be excited to add another arm because we can't keep having bullpen games every week.
Yeah.
Especially, I was talking to Dakota today about this. How can we not mix up the rotation a little bit so we have the bullpen game against the Pirates and not the Braves? Like, is that just not a thing?
I feel like that would.
Can we not have
smart,
Nick
but-
Nelson fucking starting against our division rival that we're the closest to? It's very annoying.
Yeah, well, no. Rob Thompson knows best.
Rob Thompson's a genius.
He really is.
Yeah.
Top 10 smartest people of all
love him.
time. Rob Thompson.
At probably one.
Or right behind Einstein, that's it.
No,
No.
Einstein's behind him.
No.
Yeah.
Einstein actually learned from Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah?
Yeah.
I actually heard the Bible was written by Rob Thompson, but that's just a theory.
The baseball part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that explains the rules of the game.
He's a big baseball guy.
Yeah. He actually invented the ground out.
The ground out.
Yeah, the ground out. It's a hard concept to grasp though.
Out of all things, the ground out.
Doesn't Steven know
He
what a ground out
invented
is?
the ground out?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one on the ground, it's like it's an out.
If you hit it foul, is that a hit?
So, is that an RB? So okay, he's on third. If the bases are clear and he walks to if he gets walked, does the guy on third go home? No,
He
he
might be
doesn't.
forced. Oh no, there's nobody on base.
No. Zach Eflin, come back, please.
Hey, Mark was
pitchers
kind of right
coming
about
back.
that.
He
When he
was.
said that Eflin, you can't count on Eflin because he's always hurt. And now you have bullpen games and Eflin's.
If he gets moved,
And
John
Mark.
Mark.
Mark is awesome, top 10 smart people ever alive.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
Go watch it. There's fucking 40 views on it. You lazy fucks. Go watch the fucking video.
So mad they're
All of you guys still here?
Fuck you, Jeff.
So DeGrom's back.
Yeah, that's
That's,
not good. The NL East has made some moves.
So many. The Braves, everybody's making moves.
The Braves signed a trade for a center fielder. They signed Austin Riley. The Mets have DeGrom back today. Phillies.
That's picked up a bat too.
Did they?
I think. Yeah.
They traded for fat Daniel Vogelbach.
Oh yeah, they did. Did you see the day after he was sprinting home from third and he looked stupid and he got there?
He was actually kind of quick for.
He had
how
pound
big
for
is he?
pound.
I fucking hate the Mets.
Yeah.
They're 7-1 out of the All-Star break, and it's
Boo. Just wait till we get all of them.
we're 0-.
Yeah, Harper got his pinch removed, so he's he's on the way back.
Segura should be back really soon. He's had 2 or 3 rehab assignment games.
That's good.
So
Watch out.
It's looking up in Philly. We have the best
Team in the league. That's what we have.
Can we fucking get rid of Familia? We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of him.
He's been trash this last.
He struggles when we're up 7 runs, and we don't need another 7-run game in the 9th. Choked.
Yeah, Yeah, he sucks.
No, he's terrible, and he hasn't improved all year. I think they were saying that it's just because of like the mentorship that he provides to the younger pitchers in the bullpen.
And yeah, I think he is a good guy in the clubhouse.
So don't let him fucking pitch. Let him sit there. Like,
Make him a
he doesn't
coach.
need to play.
Yeah, make him a coach.
I don't think our players need to be coached by somebody who sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, he's a genius. Rob Thompson.
Yeah, I think he should fire.
Yeah, but we got to leave it up to the baseball genius.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put a little suggestion box, say to fire him and make him a coach.
Okay.
Does
Familiar
Rob
coach.
Thompson have a suggestion box that
Hopefully,
you're gonna find it?
I'm gonna try to find it.
All right.
I'm gonna try to find his house, his mailbox.
No, but seriously, the entire bullpen has improved since Tomper has taken over.
Except for Familia.
And Familia's WAR is negative right now.
20.
Yeah.
I think it's 20.
That's worse than
Lost
Germany.
20 games.
Yeah.
Germany has a really negative word.
Nice. All he wanted is a sedate, man.
Cars go Zoom.
Yeah, F1 race in Hungary this week.
Oh, you see Piastri's back next year?
Yeah, that's sick. I can't wait. No, he's not back. He's there.
Moved.
Yeah. And, yeah, I have a fun stat.
We have a stat.
I have a stat.
I didn't even see the Aiden fun stat.
Aiden fun stat right there.
Aiden,
Okay, guys.
fact of the day.
So, this is really disappointing. Nicholas Latifi is mathematically eliminated from the getting first
No.
in the championship.
He's top 10 in overtakes. This
I'm
season.
surprised he was.
Well, yeah, he's always
fucking...
in the back.
I'm surprised he was in contention
Last
this
time.
week. Yeah, I thought he knocked out like way long
No,
ago.
if he wins like everything and everybody like crashes,
That's funny.
like he cannot.
Wait, so
win.
if he's the only finisher,
Yeah.
and there's 19 DNFs for
Yeah.
every single race, he's
Mathematically,
That's really great.
he cannot win anymore.
That'd be
That's
awesome if he makes a little comeback, but then he doesn't do the math, and we're like, Latifi, you can't win. And then he wins like Abu Dhabi, and he's doing donuts. He's like, wait, what? And that's like Philly said it all along.
Yeah.
everyone's clapping. He's like,
I didn't know the claps were for me. Yeah, he finished P1 in a practice session.
Yeah, that was
in
sick.
Hungary in the rain, and the guys were like the crowd was clapping for him, and he's not
Hyping
used to
him up.
that. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize the claps were for me."
Yep.
Poor,
Crazy.
poor Nicholas.
I didn't feel bad.
There would be
him.
claps
A
for
little bit.
Ferrari, but they suck and are the worst strategy team ever. They just
But I like Ferrari.
yeah, but they lose races that they should win, and
Yeah,
they
this
lose
is-
more races that they should win.
You'd think for a team that has a lot of history behind it and like has
They'd be
been really good.
Yeah, well, they made a good car, and then they suck.
So maybe next year they'll have a really bad car, but they'll just do good pit stops.
No, they'll probably just have a bad car and do bad pit stops and just get 1 point.
I feel bad for the
Latifi will get more points than Leclerc. And he's a better talent, probably. So
They're like, all right, Alpine's having trouble on the hard tires.
yeah, let's go on the hard tires.
What's everyone else do?
Put some
Mediums?
hard tires
Alright.
on theirs.
put some hards
Put some
on
hard
here.
tires.
The
reason
reason
why they had to do hards because they already did mediums.
But they
But then
shouldn't have pit.
don't start medium.
No. Start medium.
And then
Stay
just
out for
stay
10
out
Stay
there
out
and
laps.
longer and
go
then just
soft.
go to soft.
That would work too. But like
There's
just
no reason
they
to-
back themselves into a little bit of a corner and then they just it's just so stupid.
It's a bad corner to be backed into.
Yeah.
And they're like, box. Leclerc's like, why? Box.
Box.
It'll all work out.
He goes
Doesn't
in.
work out.
Double
doesn't
stack,
work.
double stack.
No, but you go. They suck.
17-second pit stop.
And then they're just gifting Max the win.
Yeah, seriously.
Like Max pretty much won, I think, at this point. Like
Yeah, he's gonna
He's
Hopefully
like,
the constructors can
how far is he? at?
tighten up a little bit.
pretty hard.
it's 100 points.
Yeah.
I think. No,
I think
sorry.
it's
Yeah,
like
the constructor's 100 points. Just
Yeah.
Well, there's always next year.
Yeah. Always next year.
I wish F1 put more emphasis on like second place, because like there's a good battle between Mercedes and Ferrari for second right now. I think it's like a couple points.
Well, there is like the top 3 constructors are pretty important.
Like no one talks about it. 'Cause no one cares.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about it. All right,
Okay.
second place, motherfuckers. Ferrari's gonna get second place.
Honestly, I'm fucking rooting for
I think they're getting like
Mercedes
third
at this
place,
point.
Yeah, they might get fourth, honestly, that's right. But you know what? I
No,
like
McLaren's not catching them.
Ferrari.
Alpine.
Yeah.
We got
Next
Alonso
year.
and Esteban.
McLaren's getting fourth.
Right around.
No.
McLaren's gonna be like, oh, why'd they pass me? Team orders. We want Alpine to do well this race.
Leclerc, slow down. Let Alpine pass you. It's for the strategy, trust me.
Okay, come box. We're only gonna give you 2 tires this time.
Yeah, pull a lightning.
Forgot to fill your fuel tank. Sorry about that.
Car just died.
Hey Leclerc, do you want some all in all? No. I want. Yeah, actually yes.
Yeah, I'll take some all in
Oh,
all.
come take this picture with me. Oh, you're dead.
Brendan blows up after taking all in all.
So we have trivia.
Oh, let's do trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Trivia time.
You know what? On the fly rule, we're going 45 seconds for this one because they're shorter, easier questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Julio Jones just joined the Bucks and has a number. What is his new number?
85.
Correct. Bryce Harper has an injury on which of his elbows?
The right elbow.
Correct. Name one of 2 teams tied for third in Super Bowl odds.
Pass.
Aaron Judge leads the league in home runs. Plus or minus 1, how many does he have right now?
42.
Correct. Who is the highest paid player in the NFL per year?
Sean Watson.
I need one of the 2 teams that tied for third in Super Bowl odds.
The Bucks.
Incorrect there. Second or first?
Rams. Bucks.
Chiefs and Packers. The Packers are third, which is nuts.
Wow. Who's highest paid? Is it Mahomes?
Rodgers.
Jeez.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Julio Jones just joined the Bucks and has a new number. What number is it?
Is it 86? 87? Or 86?
85. Fuck. Bryce Harper has an injury on which of his elbows?
Right.
Correct. We're going to pause real fast. We're only doing 45 seconds.
Okay.
So you have, I don't know, 27 I think. Okay. Name one of the 2 teams tied for third in Super Bowl odds.
Bucks, maybe.
Aaron Judge leads the league in home runs. Plus or minus 1, how many does he have right now?
It's 43.
Correct. Who's the highest paid player in the NFL per year? 5 seconds.
I'm going to say Mahomes before. I probably don't think it's him.
So close. Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Julio Jones just joined the Bucks and has a new number.
85.
What number? Okay. Bryce Harper has an injury in which of his elbows?
Right.
Name one of 2 teams tied for third in Super Bowl odds.
Rams.
Aaron Judge leads the league in home runs. Plus or minus 1, how many does he have right now?
He has 43.
Correct. Who is the highest paid player in the NFL per year? 10 seconds.
I want to say. Let me think this out. I want to say Mahomes.
3, 2.
Mahomes.
You're correct.
Who was the last one?
Aaron Rodgers. No one got that. So,
So I won again, right?
not the worst performance. Aiden with 2. Not terrible, not terrible. Some close guesses. Brendan with 3, and Dakota also with 3. You are going to have to go to a tiebreaker.
Ooh. I could have.
Yeah, you almost had it. You
I
almost
knew-
had it. You were so close.
I really thought it was 85, and then I second guessed myself because I thought that would be too.
Did we get the
regular.
same wrong? Probably.
Yes. You said the Rams, you said the Bucks,
I said
and
the
you
Bucks.
said Mahomes, and you said Watson.
Okay. So, are we doing a tiebreaker?
Yeah, I just don't have one yet, so give me a minute.
Okay.
Dak, so it's going to be a number, be closest to the number, okay? I need the capacity of Citizens Bank Park.
45,000.
Okay. It's one question. It's going to be a number. Got to be closer than Dakota to the number. I need you to give me the capacity of Citizens Bank Park.
In
terms of people, not hot dogs.
Okay.
As much time as you need.
$41,630.
Holy shit, go get him. Alright, so the math has been done. Not that it was that hard, but I just wasn't thinking very straight. Wait, no. Oh, no. I did it wrong. Math is hard. So the actual number, hold on 1 second, please. I subtracted his from Dakota's, which is just not that big anything. So we're going to do minus and then suspense here. The winner by a margin of around 300 people is Brendan.
What was the actual?
43,035.
What did you say?
I said 45,000.
Wow.
What did you say?
I said 41,630 or something.
Yeah, you guessed the fucking completely random number. 41,630. Absolutely crazy.
You suck.
If you guessed 41,000, he would have won, by the way.
What?
What did you get?
I got 2.
Oh.
Almost 3.
What did you say for Julio? 86 or
He
something?
spent 86, no,
Because I thought 85 would be
87?
too
86,
regular.
87? He gave me 2 numbers still. He's like 86, 87.
Nice. Thank you guys for watching. Phillies, by the time this is out, the trade deadline will be passed, but hopefully in the next few hours we get like Soto from the Padres
Yeah.
and Hosmer from the Red Sox now.
I'd buy his bird.
In the last 10 minutes, Hosmer was traded to the Red Sox.
He has an attitude problem now, so we're gonna sort that out.
We have some personal issues to figure
Watch
out.
the next episode.
Please subscribe.
Like, subscribe. See you guys next episode.